Hey, today I'm going to give you a quick tour of my pantry. Now this was a space that used to be dreadful, and I put some work into it to make it highly functional for a very awkward space. We have this one portable rack that we put right here by the door that allows us to move around it and then have some space. I actually added a portable light, woo, don't want that on, that really helps, in addition to the overhead light, getting into this awkward space, it really helps light up the food. In these baskets I have such things as supplements. I keep some drinks on top. There's some snack foods for the kids' lunch, like these pumpkin seeds in there. I keep things like seaweed and medicinal mushrooms in that basket. I've got some potatoes, onions, some various supplements on the bottom. Now, starting over here, just a few things I'm going to point out. I buy gluten-free foods, which a lot of people will acknowledge cost more than regular. But one of the things that I do is I look for them on sale and then stock up, as you can see with our gluten-free pasta over there. I also keep things in jars as soon as the package has been opened, and you can see from our different rices. I've got some amaranth, all of my grains I put in glass jars. I actually keep a case of various sizes of glass jars on the floor, so that as soon as something is open, I know I can just go right down there to my glass jars. And I reuse those, but I just put them back there when I have them clean and ready for something else. So let me point out a few of my basic things that I love to stock in the pantry. Quinoa, of course, absolutely fabulous. A mixture of rices, many different flavors. Again, I mentioned my gluten-free pastas. I have some that are brown rice. I have these are organic mung bean fettuccine, some quinoa pasta, some 100% buckwheat soba noodles. Be very careful when you buy soba noodles, if you're looking to be gluten-free, that you make sure they're 100% buckwheat. Very often they will say buckwheat soba, but then when you turn it around and look on the back at the ingredients, these do say whole buckwheat flour, because that's what all I will buy. But very often they will also say wheat flour added, so read your labels very carefully. I have some baking things here, fair trade cocoa. I've got a little package here of some granola, behind some oat and rice cereals. Here I have various gluten-free flours, everything from corn flour, almond flour, sorghum flour, lots of different things. Oh, this is not where it belongs. And then I have some more of the unusual ingredients. This is lacuma powder, yakin powder, which is a sweetener from a raw maca powder. I have a lot of dried fruits behind these crackers. There's a lot of dried fruits. And I do have this box of gluten-free crackers. Down here I have various seasoning for Indian or Asian foods. I kind of keep them, they're in small containers. I keep them all together. I repurpose clementine crates, as you will see. I use them in various situations, but they really help, especially in a pantry, to keep things grouped together. This box has various types of beans or grains in them. Then here's kind of some of the staples like tuna, salsa, pickles, homemade applesauce. You'll notice I store my nut butters upside down, and you may be wondering why I do that. But you know how natural nut butters separate, and usually the oil is on the top, and then it can be kind of hard to stir it together. They have most likely been stored upright until you get them. So if you put them upside down, those oils, while you're waiting to use them, will naturally start seeping upwards. When you open that jar, you're going to have a very nice surprise waiting for you. It'll already be mixed, very easy to stir together. Down here I've got some olive oils, some kind of bulk items. If you notice here, I have it's very clear on my buckwheat here. I have a labeling machine, and I like to label what I'm putting in my jars. It not only is helpful for me, but it's helpful for my family and for my kids when I'm saying something. Back there I've got some beans that I use for pie crust weights, and they say buy weights on them. Again, another way to save money is the tea that I like. I get fair trade organic tea, which isn't the cheapest, but when it's on sale, I stock up. So in this space, which is very awkward, you can see from the steep slant here, there's a stairwell on the other side, and this was just dead space before. So I measured, bought these drawers, these shelves, and we've got things tucked right in here, again on sale with the organic jams and jellies, the smaller condiments, the gamasio, which I've mentioned in some of my cooking demos, just love it. I've got some various soup and herb mixes that I think I picked up at a farmer's market. Small things like olives and relishes. Then I've got some, over here, I've got some gluten-free baking mixes. Displayed right up front, this Purely Elizabeth. Dear, dear woman, Elizabeth Stein, who started this company, an IIN graduate, who is just producing some of the most wonderful mixes. What I love about her gluten-free mixes is that they have only whole ingredients. You can look at these labels and be proud. I don't know how well this will focus. Not very well. Trust me on this. She doesn't use anything. Tip that over. She doesn't use anything that you wouldn't be proud to have in your food, and they're absolutely delicious. Over here, I have those Eden beans that I'm always telling everybody about. I do use, and I have over here in my jars, whole beans and soak them when I am planning my meals and thinking about it, but it's awfully great to have this great fiber, great protein handy on the pantry shelves when we need a quick meal. So I've got some canned beans, a little bit of canned vegetables. Again, I don't rely on them very much because I usually use fresh, but these are great to have on hand for some quick meals, and I know which things I like to make when we're really in a crunch. And then, of course, I've got canned coconut milk. Roasted tomatoes, have the tomato products, various soups. Now here's a product I left in here just to show you, but I'll tell you something. It's leaving my house. I'm very disappointed in this. Pacific Organic beef stock. Now I use their vegetable stock and their chicken stock, and it's a perfectly fine product. Again, I usually prefer to make my own, but I usually kept some in the pantry just to have on hand. But a client of mine, very wise client, who I taught to read labels and to avoid MSG, pointed out that on this label, I believe it's near the end, autolyzed yeast extract. Can you see that? That is another name for MSG. This product is not going back on my shelf. I am taking it with me and getting rid of it. That is not okay. More on that to come. I'm going to be doing a video about MSG and how to read labels and what to look for, but just to let you know that even I get tricked every once in a while. Because I knew their other products were great, I made the false assumption that their beef one would be just as high quality as their other ones, and in fact, it's not. And lastly, just some organic pasta sauces that we got on sale. Once again, I prefer to make my own, but great to have some on hand. And so there you have it, a quick tour of a well-stocked pantry. Great way to save time and money is to stock up on some of the things that you know you're going to use so that at any point you can pull together a great healthy meal to feed your family. Remember, eat clean, live green, be healthy.